This is a PI Advice Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Prime Investigator Advice episode number 31. Yeah, boy. How's everybody doing? Man, winter is here. A little new music there, cut off prematurely. Yeah, it's been freezing over here. Everything's frozen. You wake up in the morning, you walk out to your car, and it takes, another 15 minutes, which you typically don't anticipate because you're underprepared like me. But yeah, you deal with it and you manage and you scrape and whatever. If you're really lucky, you have one of those cars that you can just remotely start and warm up your car before you head out there and do the business. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different today. I was kind of kicking around some ideas just to kind of keep the podcast moving along. I've got all this storage that I don't use because I'm not smart enough to come up with topics fast enough, and life gets in the way and all that kind of good stuff. But so today I found some articles that really interested me, and I thought they might interest you. There's always a lot of there's blogs out there, and then there's just just reporting news in general, and some of it's just, I don't know. Some of it doesn't apply. I only go to a couple. I get like a feed from Google, for like keywords like private investigator and fraud and things like that. And I also go to PI feed, which is kind of like an aggregate. Like it people like submit articles, bloggers submit articles. If someone found something really cool, they submit articles there. And I also get my news, and I think I've mentioned this before, and I'm gonna have to go there now just to make sure I got the right page here. Let's see, Private Investigator and Security Group. That's a Facebook page. It's got 1,200 members. The PI feed, shares a lot of stuff there. Matt, I hope I'm not chewing up his name. Buscemi, he shares a lot of articles there. So these are just kind of the places I go to where more times than not, it's actual private investigator news, or it could be related to it. But what I went and did for you is I got a few articles to share that I thought might be of interest to you. I'm going to talk about them a little bit, kind of tell you who the author is if I know the author, or and of course I will I'll have a not only just the video for you guys to watch the news podcast, but I also have the links you can go to if you want to connect with those bloggers, or sometimes I could just say, hey, go to PI feed. It's up there right now. But I never know when you're going to be listening to this news, so you might have to go to the original. With that being said, I hope everybody's ready for this. It's something new. I hope you enjoy. And if you do enjoy it, let me know. If you don't tell me, because I'm really kind of excited about this. So no, I'm just kidding. If you don't like it, private message me or something so nobody else can see that. Also, I don't know if we talked about it. Our sponsor of the show, Audible, they got that free trial. I, kind of nag you guys about it. And I think it was one of the podcasts I talked about how I had this book, didn't read it, thought I should get Audible. I ended up getting it on Audible. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but Crush It, Gary Vaynerchuk, really cool guy. So Gary, he actually reads the book to you on Audible. And what's really cool, which I've never really kind of heard before, is this is an author who actually kind of veers off the script of the book. So if something that he's talking about in the book, it was outdated or something's changed, he actually jumps in and goes, hey, I'm gonna go off the script, and then he talks about such and such, whatever. And he's kind of a social media guy. He kind of a master at it, actually, connecting with his audience and building trust and stuff like that. So anyways, if you guys are interested in subscribing for Audible, Like I said, they got a free trial. They got a ton of books. I'm really was kind of glad they had that because I went and picked it up right away, the Crush It book. But you can go to audibletrial.com/PI Advice Podcast. I should have made that thing shorter, but what are you going to do? Anyways, check that out. And also another sponsor of the show, Investigator Marketing, for the remainder of December. So we got about, I don't know, it's the December 10th, 2013 as I record this. So for the remainder time of December, Investigator Marketing has a special deal where if you buy a website, 5 pages or more, you can go ahead and get the SEO for free, which is, according to Investigator Marketing, a $250 value. Pretty big deal. That's a pretty big value. So, like I said, until the end of December 2013, that offer will be available. So if you're trying to get in on the offer, you need to call them now. At the very least, say, okay, I want to get a website, and I want that deal. So you can get in on that deal. Otherwise, it's going to be gone, and there's going to be something else available, possibly. So with that being said, let's get into the news, and this is where I would cue in some awesome music that I don't have yet. So maybe next time. So one of the first things I found was actually it was not Investigator. It was actually Investigator Marketing. They had a Facebook page. It kind of drawn my attention to this article, but it wasn't from Investigator Marketing. It was from Diligenta Group, and it's this guy. I think I've talked about him before. He's actually a really good blogger. His name is Brian Willingham, and he blogs on his business website, which is a perfect idea to do. And the reason Investigator Marketing kind of drew attention to this article that Brian wrote was because the article actually draws, because of the keywords in it and the information, it draws in potential clients, and it's informative in general. And so Brian's blog post is called 10 Ways an Attorney Can Effectively Use a Private Investigator. So if there's an attorney out there that's kind of green and maybe doesn't know how he needs one, he can go and read this article, and then, hey, you know what? There's a guy right there. You're in his blog, and it's building trust. So I'm going to go down these real quick because I thought they were pretty interesting, because this is some of the stuff I don't know. I'm not a big lawyer, private investigator. I don't do a lot of this stuff. So it was kind of interesting to me. Like, oh yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah. So here's the 10 ways. Number 1. Locate people. Number 2, locate assets. Number 3, leverage negotiations. Number 4, enforce judgments. Number 5, connect the dots. And of course, he didn't just list them out. He discusses them a little bit, which I'm not going to read his blog over the air, but you certainly can. So connect the dots, kind of like help you figure out things. Predict your opponent's next move. He might be able to point out habits or patterns from, maybe another attorney. Prep for cross-examination. That's actually really big. I know a lot of private investigator firms that have done that. That's all they do is just prep and take statements and stuff like that. And they make a handsome living off of that. Collect and review electronic evidence. Trademark and intellectual property monitoring. If this is what I'm thinking, it's kind of like, there's some, I've seen it in the past where I've had to take pictures of, maybe it was a display in a store I've had to go out there and do because it actually mimicked another product, or sometimes even the signage of a store or signage stuff inside a store would be almost identical to another brand. And they'd have you go in there and take pictures of that covertly and not try to upset anybody. And then reconstruction. Maybe it looks like a chain of lost documents, find things, find facts, find witnesses. So those are 10 great tips. Actually, I didn't do it justice. Go and read his article. I'll have it posted in this podcast episode on the Private Investigator Advice website, and it'll be there, and it'll link you to it if you're having a hard time to find it. If you're listening to this, within 3 days of December 10th, 2013, go to PI feed, and it should still be up there, or it'll be in the archives. So that was number one. Well done, Mr. Willingham. The second thing that just came out, which is always fun because I like to see my name listed in the stuff on like lists. Like I'm all stoked when I see like, oh, top 10 or, top 100, private investigator blogs and my name's on. I'm like, woo, look at me. But in this case, I was not on the list. I'm not a big writer for this. So it's PI now makes these lists. This one is top private investigators on Twitter 2013. They date it. So hopefully I can make the 2014 run. But anyways, I did not make this list, and rightly so. Even though I do post things on Twitter, it's basically a direct feed from my Facebook page, just kind of links into Twitter. And so I have like maybe 50 or 60 posts, but it's nothing like, hey, how's everybody doing? What's going on? It's not like that. But this one, I'm just going to go ahead and read the winners of the Twitter winners. Gosh. Anyways, maybe I should get more into that. I don't know. Anybody else tweet? If you guys tweet out there, if you guys retweets, let me know. Maybe there's something I need to, be more, involved in. So number one was Pursuit Magazine. I actually didn't know that they were big Twitters or tweeters. But that's very cool. It's very cool that they're doing that. Number two, Jeremiah Jones. I don't know him. He's from Bosco Legal Services. Kusik and Kusik Ltd. I just started seeing blog articles from these private investigators. Apparently, they're based in Vancouver, British Columbia. So that's kind of cool. I just like seriously, just recently. Phil Johnson, number four. 26 years in the business. It looks like. I'm just glancing at their thing. Brian Willingham. I just read his blog. He says he's a sports junkie, lover of all things food, and a father of two amazing kids. Very cool. Number six, Philip Bessinel. I don't know. There's two number sixes. I guess they tied. Well, that's cool. I couldn't make it into the list. You guys have two number sixes. Number six, another one is P.I. Buzz. Tamara Thompson. She's also made like top blogging things. Very informative in the industry. Always worth checking that out at I think it's pibuzz.com or something like that for her Facebook or her website. I could be wrong on that. Kirby Ellis, number seven, PI Feed. Hey, I was just talking about them. How about that? Another good place to check out. Kevin Murray, Spybusters, number nine. Spencer PI, he's number 10. And I'm just glancing. I do not see my name still. Yep, no, it's still not in there. Okay, I see how it is. PI now. All right. So yeah, there's your top 10 winners of the Twitter thingy. Very cool. Very cool. I will maybe be trying to just break into the top 100 or whatever. All right, next article up for review. This is a fraudster one. This is where somebody is convicted of fraud. Usually it's in workers' comp stuff. So this one's called Photographer Ordered to Repay More Than $60,000 in Workers' Compensation Benefits. So I'm going to summarize this for you. You guys can go ahead and read this on your own. But essentially, a guy goes on workers' comp out in Ohio. Apparently, they're very vigilant out there in Ohio. He, I guess in 2010, but continues to be a photographer, professional photographer, takes pictures. He does that between 2010 and 2013. Well, they catch him. They take him, going to jobs and stuff. He has they end up finding out that he has 1,000 deposits for work that he's done as a photographer. Anyways, he's convicted. He has to pay back exactly $63,196.35. Basically, they have an acronym for it, if I can find it here. The Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, the BWC, basically says, look, we're going to get this money back and give it to people who actually need it, who aren't hurt, which very cool. First of all, I like that Ohio's kind of like ratting you out. Like, so if you found convicted of it, got in trouble, that you get to make the paper. So that I like that. Or at least you get your name out there for frauding your state, your community. So yeah, that was that. Also, it basically says in here if he, screws that up, he could go to jail for, 6 months if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do after that. Yeah. Anyways, very fascinating. That was from the Claims Journal. I will link to that in the podcast notes. Another one that I actually for the American Dad podcast that I do, I was going over some news articles over there. And what I found, I mean, I had to realize this is happening, but this just kind of brought this more to light. This is happening out in the UK. It says sleuths, private investigators, tracking rowdy teens. Parents keep a private eye on schoolies. I think that means students in English, but I don't know. They have their own way of saying things. So basically it talks about these two private investigators who, I'm looking at their picture, they look like they're 17 and 18, even though I know they're probably of legal age, they're getting parents to hire them and follow them to make sure their kids aren't doing something stupid. And, if they're going to nightclubs and things like that. So these two go into these places and videotape what their kids are doing and either giving their parents peace of mind or, they're, maybe going to have a stern talking with their children afterwards. I don't know. I kind of thought of this as a parent, like, when my kid's a teenager, would I do such a thing? Will I be the one following? And I thought to myself, I really don't know. I don't know. Kids got to make mistakes and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of a parenting topic, but on a PI note, if this is something you're not, maybe this is something you could start marketing. I don't know. If you're into that, if you look young enough, if you can kind of hang in with those kids. I don't look like a spring chicken anymore. In fact, I haven't looked like a spring chicken since I was a teenager. So, yeah, life has aged me quickly. So that's that. I thought that was interesting. Oh, and also, going back to 10 ways an attorney can effectively use a private investigator, if there's something you weren't already marketing, if you're working for lawyers, hey, here's a couple things you can add to it. I mean, if you haven't thought of it. So yeah. What else we got here? Ohio dump truck driver. Again, Ohio, guys are rocking it out there, catching the fraud. Dump truck driver driven to fraud. So, dump truck driver goes on work comp, a man goes on work comp, ends up working as a dump truck driver. Say that 100 times fast. And they basically catch him. And he has to pay back $19,000 because he was rocking the dump truck job. I don't know. He's got what's coming to him. So that's that. Need to share that. I'll have it posted in the notes. $19,000. So probably about a year or so of wages getting work comp. And let's see here. My last one. Let's see here. This one I thought was kind of cool. And it goes back to one of those tweeters that I was telling you about. And one of the tweeters is Cusick and Cusick, private investigators. Like I said, just started seeing articles about them. And this is actually, it looks like this is on their private investigation website, and they're Canadian based. So what it does is they go ahead and start talking about Colleen Collins' life as a female private investigator. I thought it was very cool. Actually, took a minute to read what it had to say because I've actually thought about writing about that, not from a woman's perspective, but from a man's perspective. And it talks about Colleen Collins. She is a managing editor of Pursuit magazine. She's written some books, 22 novels. She's taken cases from online stalking to homicide, and she's been a co-owner of a private investigation firm in Denver for over a decade. Very cool. Definitely, I would just check out the kind of profile, of Colleen Collins on Cusick and Cusick. She kind of talks. I think she mentioned some iPhone apps or things that she uses in the field. Just kind of talks about her life as a private investigator, even in her books that she's written. She wrote Secrets of a Real Life Female Private Eye. Let me go ahead and click on that here while we're talking. Oh, it's an Amazon book. And it's got almost 5 stars. Very cool. Very cool. I didn't think that would be a very popular kind of topic. But it should be. It should be. She actually wrote How Do Private Eyes Do That? I can see here. That's very cool. Very cool. An accomplished writer. I actually wish I was a better writer. I think I probably should take some classes in that. Anyways, but yeah, so that is your news roundup. I will I haven't written the blog post yet, but I will write the blog post after I've edited this video and news and stuff like that. And it's a little bit shorter, but you know what? If I can pop out a few of these, you guys have something extra to listen to, you know, and kind of give you entertainment. Go check some things out and read some other blogs that are out there. You know, I wish I knew everything about the industry, but I don't. I don't have enough time to wrap my noggin around everything. So that's why I get to kind of look at some other people, see what they're doing, and share the news with you so you guys can get out there and expand your horizons. But that's going to be it. So I'm going to try to play this music and make it sound all sweet. So, oh yeah. And get my son in here. What do you say, son?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So that's going to wrap up this miniature episode of the Proud Investigator Advice News Aggregator. I haven't got the official name for it yet, but I will. Oh, you stinker. Yep, let's do it again. And you guys have a great day. Be sure to check out the sponsors, Investigative Marketing, audibletrial.com/PI Advice Podcast to get your free book. And if you like it, you stay with it. If you don't, quit. All right, guys. Well, take care. I'm going to drink some coffee, edit a video, do a blog post, and get it out to you guys. See ya.